right now, no one's invented the solution yet. Doesn't mean that, at this conference we're going to hear from someone who's just like, bang, got it, or at least it's going to save something. Hasn't happened yet. The issues with inventory, like essentially infinite online inventory, is finally depressing prices all over the place. And more to the point, advertisers have slowed down spending. I mean, they've slowed down spending everywhere, including online. Figures are coming out from analysts like Sanford Bernstein that are showing that online ad spending was down in the first couple of months of the year. Online is their good news. I mean, they haven't invented it yet. The dynamic that I find interesting is that, this is a minority view, but I'm pretty convinced of it. I think that at the end of the day, the television will come out with a greater share of the ad market than it did, which is to say that everything else is going to contract a lot faster. It's not to say that everything is, hearts and flowers for TV. I mean, clearly, broadcast TV has been problematic. Clearly, local TV stations are just at a terrible time. It's like the local car dealers have gotten killed. They've just gotten totally wiped out. But the overall numbers, I think, for the entire industry aren't going to be that awful. And it remains the last, I've written about this a bunch of times now, but, the big broadcast networks remain the last place to get one really huge audience at one time. And granted, now it's 8 million instead of 10 million instead of 15 million. But there's still a perceived premium in getting all those people at once. And no one has really equaled that. And maybe no one really can equal that. And you get on top of that other sort of weird institutional issues. Like, I think this is still America, and there's still some kind of value, whether it's ego or vanity, that people associate with either being on television or getting their product on television. And that kind of can't be understated quite the way. Although I guess I don't know if reading something in the paper, having something appear in the paper means as much to a 20-year-old as it does to a 50-year-old. If like something gets mentioned in the paper, if it has the same significance. But it seems to be hanging on for TV a little longer. At least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We're actually at a kind of, this is really, the transition is really accelerated. Stuff is really happening right now. People said that newspapers, classified, ads were going to go away. They've been saying that since like the late 80s. Guess what? It finally happened. Certain other business models, local radio, those things seem to be like melting kind of irretrievably. And once again, all the behaviors are pointing to the web. The advertisers aren't quite there yet, and I think there's some complicated reasons as to why they're not there yet. I don't know if they ever will get there, or maybe let me rephrase that. I don't know if I know that the ad dollars won't get there in the same way, at least not the way the world is set up right now. But there's constant reinvention. All these companies that shed people and shed executives and shed units, those people go out and they do something new. Usually in some tangent to the space, because that's what they know. And it's endlessly fascinating. You hear heart-rending stories, you get heart-rending emails. You hear angry people, you hear sad people, you hear people that are just plain freaked out. But stuff is really happening. If you're a journalist, you want to be a story where there's action. There's plenty of action going on.